Alright guys, so last night I made a video covering the StatCloud Ontario polling. He released a 3-day rolling average for BC, Ontario, and Atlantic Canada only, and he did one a few days ago which showed, I think, a 9-point lead for the Conservatives. Now this one tightened up a little bit, right? So 4,000 people, which is a pretty good sample size. 47% for the Conservatives, Liberal 45%, NDP 5%. I think they're going to do a little bit better than that, but not by much. I think they're just going to get at least 10. But that being said, it's, where I live, for example, in Hamilton Center, I see NDP signs quite often now. They're not going to lose all their ridings. They'll keep some. So I think they'll do a little bit better, at least 10%. The Greens at 2%, PPC at 1%. And apparently the way StatCloud does their polling is they do random digit polling, and they do samples during the day and also during the evening, so people who are working in the day can come home and also participate in this poll. So it's very interesting, but it's only a 2-point lead. However, it's in BC, Ontario, and Atlantic Canada. Right, we know that Alberta and Saskatchewan and probably even Manitoba are going to be heavily in favor for the Conservatives. So the fact that you have pretty liberal or left-leaning states or regions, provinces or regions, this is not bad. Not bad at all. So, and again, 4,000 is a big sample size for what we usually see with polling. So, also, I am wondering, I saw some people last night posting things on X about 338 not working. It was working fine for me, but then this afternoon when I went to check it out, host error. So I'm not sure what's going on. I've also heard this is happening with other polling websites as well. So interesting that a day before the election, there's something wrong with the polling websites. So that's something that could, I have no idea, cyber attack, whatever it was, but it's very interesting it happened the day before the election. Now, Kolosowski also put out something here. The turnout rate among younger voters will be key to determining the outcome of the federal election, which I've been predicting for a while now. In 2015, high turnout among younger voters helped elect the Liberal government. In 2025, it's the Conservatives who are poised to benefit, largely driven by housing concerns, affordability, things like that. So when we have a closer look here, 18 to 34, 49% Conservative, and only 35% Liberal. 35 to 54, 51% for the Conservatives, 36% for the Liberals, and then here's the big shift. And again, this is what I mean. Like when I say, boomers generally vote older, I know most of you watching this channel, of course, don't. You're on the right side here. You're on the 27%, but a lot of your peers, they vote Liberal, right? 54%. That's concerning. Now, if these two age groups here turn out like they've never turned out before, they could override this. Because remember, the older generation, they generally show up around 60 to 70%. We don't have to match that because we have two age groups, but it can't be like 40%. We need much higher turnout than that, and if we get it, I do think that not only are we going to see a Conservative win, I think we can also get to a Conservative majority. Although some people think that that's wishful thinking, I'm generally not optimistic, but again, I see... When I look at the rallies, I'm seeing a lot of young people at Pierre Poilievre's rallies, and if they're showing up to rallies, they're going to vote. In 2021, they weren't voting for Erin O'Toole because they didn't see any really difference between him and Justin Trudeau. It's a big difference between Pierre Poilievre and the Liberal Party right now. Big difference. I think it's motivating young people. Hopefully. And then... Okay, so yeah, that was just someone else breaking it down, but this is very interesting, and I've never covered anything on 6Buzz before. They are not a polling industry. I just want to make that very clear. But it is interesting because 6Buzz TV is a Toronto-based media company focused on urban culture. Their viewers are urban youth, Gen Z, and millennials. If these groups come out to vote, there will be a lot of surprises on Monday. And this is what I'm talking about. 28,000 votes. A very simple question. These aren't, and again, is it random dialing? I'm not sure who they're polling, but it seems like they're polling a lot of younger people. 79% Conservative, 14% for the Liberal, 2% for the NDP, 6% other, 28,000 votes. Again, who do they send the polling out to? We don't know. we don't have many demographics, but they did put out a poll, and they're not generally like I said, they focus on urban culture more than they do politics. But that being said, they did put this out. Make of it what you will. I'm not sure how accurate it is. Who participated? I know in the Yahoo poll, for example, Americans could participate in it. So, I mean, who knows? But again, out of every poll that we've seen, whether it's Yahoo or this one, it's been tens of thousands of people voting in it. And it's going very well for the Conservatives. But like I said, these aren't professional pollsters. That being said, there's questions with some of the professional pollsters, quote-unquote professional, like Ecos, Liaison. But that being said, it's very interesting. The betting market, however, not looking good. Betting market showing around 80% for Mark Carney with 1 day left. You did see a big dip a couple days ago on the 23rd. On the 24th, he was at 85, then he went down to 76, but now he's back up at 78.3. So, it's very, it's interesting. Which pollster is going to be right? Which one's going to be wrong? Is the betting market wrong? We don't know. But we're going to find out in just over 24 hours. So again, if you're going to be checking out some live streams, make sure you drop by and say hello. I'll be live streaming for the whole election, probably even a little bit before as well, just to give some time for people to come check out the stream, hang out for a little bit, maybe ask some questions, do a little Q&A. But come check it out, say hello. We'll have some decent conversations, I'm sure, and hopefully a really fun night and a good outcome. Either way, let me know what you think. Please don't be shy. Please also don't be afraid to like and subscribe, as it really does help grow the channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back shortly with a new video.